Welcome to the OTC podcast, a show where I bring a guest to the outdoors and we bring the outdoors to you. I'm your host, Nico Prada. Today, my guest is a good friend of mine. She is the founder of South Florida Faux. Please give it up for your next performer coming to the stage, Miss Jennifer Diehl.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for coming with me, or actually bringing me on this trip today, because you're showing me around today.
I wish I could tell you this is what I like to do in all my free time, but this is probably the second time I've been here, and I've lived here for decades.
I think this is also the second time you've been free.
Well, you know.
You are a busy lady, but I'm glad I was able to catch you.
Oh, me too.
And come over here. I'm super excited to freaking have you on the show, because I see you like twice a year, but I consider you one of my better friends.
Aww.
So
me too.
This is cool. We met you via one of my comedian friends, and we ended up working sometimes together, and I think that's how we became like closer, right?
I mean there were random pool parties and probably some unmentionables that I'm mentioning for
not really, no.
Giggles, but
no, I remember them. They were okay. No, there's no unmentionables. I mean, we don't party like that anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't
so
bad.
Minute,
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much how it happened.
Okay. Well, I have a slight idea of how outdoorsy you are, because one time we tried to go to the Everglades.
Yep, we did.
And it didn't work. That's when we found out that Mitchell's Landing, you need a reservation to go there. But
it's a reservation to camp. I feel like that kills the whole. That's like a legal wall and graffiti, you know?
A little bit, but at the same time, I do think it is important to gatekeep the spots that can't handle having a whole lot of people. So I actually get why they do it, and I respect it. But yeah, we weren't even trying to camp. We were just trying to make some shish kebabs over a fire.
Right. We just wanted to go cook outside.
Over a fire, yeah. So we went to this area off of Loop Road that, as far as, I remembered, all you had to do is show up, and it's pretty much no rules. Just be respectful, otherwise like nature will kind of take care of you. But then we got there, and we had to make reservations, so we turned around. I think we ended up in like a Honduran restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, we did. It's all for the best. I think that it was Lord of the Flies in their public bathroom. Gross.
Oh, you mean the outhouse?
Yeah. Any outhouse? Gross.
Any outhouse? That's the funniest way I've ever heard anybody refer to it.
Bad.
Well, yeah, but that's how it is in the backcountry. So, alrighty.
Built for that, I don't think.
Well, then, since I'm also in the process of figuring out just how outdoorsy you are, I gave you some homework, right? So, can you tell us?
My dog ate it. Sorry, my rent-a-dog ate it.
Your rent-a-dog ate it. Well, yeah. I'm going to ask you about the rent-a-dog in a little bit, but for now, can you tell us, so we have an idea, on the Disney princess scale, from Sleeping Beauty to Pocahontas, how outdoorsy are you?
Okay, so I thought about this at length, and I can't really identify with Ariel, although I want to, because I'd rather be under the sea, but that bitch wanted to be on land, so I think I identify as one of her sisters. Like, I'm not a Disney princess per se, but I'm definitely part of the Disney royal family.
Disney royal family, okay. Yeah. So was your dad a little bit like, what was his name? King Triton?
Triton, yes. No. I'm going to go with no.
No?
I'm going to go with absolutely not.
Absolutely not? Why not? He wasn't that buff, or he wasn't around, or?
No. I just think, I don't have any I don't have enough caffeine to.
That's fair. It is kind of early in the morning, because if we go anywhere.
Should probably hit your pre-workout. I don't know. I might have messed up.
Well, if you're feeling tired, we can always run back to the car and get you a bump, which is it's just what I call it at this point. I don't drink coffee, so I'll take a small scoop of pre-workout, and people look at me like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. And I'm just like, it's a bump. Just, I'm tired of explaining it. Just think what you want to think. It's a bump, whatever. So, all right. So you're more of a, you want to try going this way?
Yeah.
So you're more of like a beachy type of outdoorsy then, huh?
Yes. I'd rather be large bodies of water. I mean, I named a whole kid after one.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
you named the whole kid after the whole body of water.
Yeah,
you have
the largest that we
the
know
largest, yeah. You didn't even go with a specific, like,
well,
you didn't call her Pacific or Atlantic. You just named her Ocean.
I wanted to name a river, but I couldn't have a river and a phoenix.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that. That's too funny. Do you know these trails at all? Because I feel like we're just, all right, we're just gonna, this happens a lot on my show. We end up going to a place that's not really in the middle of nowhere, and we loop around a lot. Back to the street. Sometimes we end up in like neighborhoods or schools. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's happened before. So we can go this way. So have you ever gone camping before?
Camping, yes. I was a Girl Scout forever.
Oh, you were a Girl Scout?
Yeah.
Was it one of the cool troops that actually teaches you valuable outdoor like skills, or one of those that just...
My mom was the camp leader, so I wasn't paying attention. I'm sure they tried, as my mother tried a lot of things.
But like, you know how to tie something other than your shoes? You know, you've tied lots of knots, or just baby daddies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not a stranger to some knot work. That would go on to benefit me later on in life in different fields of expertise.
Go on.
No, I won't.
Yeah, no, I saw you trying to be non-specific, so I was like, oh, please elaborate.
I don't think I will.
That's fair. That's fair. You're allowed to plead the fifth here on OTC. We don't force anybody to talk. Around here, sometimes we do the stitching before the snitching.
I like it.
Yeah, this is a cool spot. They got like a kayaking dock over here and stuff.
Yeah, I never knew that actually.
Yeah, I feel like neither of us really know that much about this place. Did you ever come here sober? That is the question. Okay.
Yes, actually.
By the way, Jenny, you've been sober how long?
Almost 6 years.
6 years. That's amazing. That's amazing. Congratulations.
And I'm not just sober. I'm clean as shit. So.
Oh yeah, I don't even smell you.
Wait, it's the day is early.
The day is early. I know. That's why we tried to come out here kind of early, because it's what, like 10-ish right now. If you come past 11 or like noon, forget it.
Yeah.
It's.
But this is nice, right? A lot of overhang, a lot of shrubbery.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Not bad.
These are, I believe, these are sea grapes and gumbo limbos.
Yep.
I am getting slightly, like a tiny bit better at this, because I'm so bad at remembering like plants and animals. Like obviously I can remember like a fucking squirrel, but between your anhingas and your ospreys and stuff like that, that's when I'm like, scratching my head. So my girlfriend actually had to get me, for my birthday, she got me these little like waterproof brochures that teach you all the local flora and fauna from Florida.
Dude, there's an app. There's an app where you could just like point your, there's a whole rundown.
I know.
I don't use it, clearly.
For days like this, the app would be perfect. But for other times when you're really like in the backcountry, you want to save your phone juice for other stuff. Plus, it's nice to just look at
911 calls.
Yes, 911 calls, exactly. But it's nice to just look at a little paper, like a paper map or a paper brochure from time to time. Like, I don't know. Just
very old school. I like it.
You know what was very old school? Today when I picked you up, I knocked on your door.
That was old school?
That's old school. These days you don't knock on people's doors. You pull up in their driveway and say, I'm here, can you come out?
I didn't know that was antiquated.
I'm too socially anxious. Yeah, I know. I know.
I thought you were making a jab at me finally locking my door.
You didn't lock your door before?
No.
Oh God.
Bad.
Yeah, I think a little bit. Why'd you start locking? Oh God, don't answer that.
There's another one I'm not gonna get into.
Jesus. No.
But there's a story there.
There's a story there
There's definitely a story there.
Okay, you can tell me that one off camera, because I can tell that you might incriminate yourself a little bit there.
Or others.
And I don't blame you. Let's get out of the way here. Looks like there's another trail entrance here.
I like hiking in traffic.
Hiking in traffic.
This is cool.
I know, right? Circular hiking.
Yes.
4 wheels. Oh, we can't go through there? Gotcha. All right. Thank you for letting us know, yeah? All right. We'll try.
What is happening?
I have no idea.
All right.
I have no idea. Fort Lauderdale, baby. That's
what we do.
That's how we do it. So, all right. In your time in the Girl Scouts, you did some decent camping trips?
Yes. Yep. We used to go to Camp Nocatee every year.
Nocatee, like
knock your
tooth out.
Knock your tooth out. It was glamping, but like on the bare bones side of glamping.
That's cool.
Like, there were not tents, there were huts, but it was.
That's still pretty cool, though.
It was great, and there was like showers, and of course, like you'd go and you'd steal somebody's clothes and put them up on the flagpole. Girl Scouts and whatever.
Oh yeah, totally. But, you tell me these things like they're so obvious to me, and yeah, like obviously you're gonna steal underage girl's clothes.
I too was an underage girl, so it's not like the camp counselors were doing it, like the Boy Scouts.
That would be
Girl Scouts are different.
Some Jason Voorhees shit. I actually tried to join the Boy Scouts, the Colombian version back then, and
is that like in the jungle? They bring you?
Well, we went on one trip that was, I can't quite tell you where it was, not quite the jungle, but it was certainly tropical.
Is it because they blindfold you on your way there?
No, the blindfold is a myth, okay? They put a bag over your head, Jennifer. They put a bag over, get it right. God, you're Colombian by injection. You should know these things.
I should know these things. I should.
That is her joke, by the way. I 1000% Dane cooked it from you when you say that you are Colombian by injection. You have 2 half Colombian kids?
Yep. I'm Colombian by injection.
Gross.
Jew by injection.
You're very multicultural, Jennifer.
Listen, it's all inside me, literally. it's all right here, you know?
If only it were swimming around in your belly, you would be a lot richer right now.
Good God.
Yeah, your kids watch this podcast? Probably not. Nobody watches this podcast yet. Don't worry. You could probably right now. You probably could say some incriminating shit because the only people who watch this are like the friends and family on whoever was just on my most recent episode. So maybe
that's only for now, Nico. You're gonna blow up eventually.
I know, right? Blow up.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard to only like sell a little bit of my soul in trying to turn this YouTubing thing into a second job. Like I think I'm coming from humble beginnings, and then I find myself brainstorming like, what dumb fucking joke can I make to get a couple of views?
I mean, maybe. Listen, you'll figure it out. I have every confidence.
Every confidence.
Yes.
You're sleeping.
And
you are asleep.
And then when you're super famous, you can afford to hire me to come to your house.
You know, it's funny. I was gonna say the same thing to you. If you need some cabinetry, if you need some cabinetry, please help me out. You know what else? Did you do the fauxing for your neighbor's house? Because one of your neighbors has a cool like exterior texture on the outside of their house, and I pulled up and I was like, oh wait, that's the wrong number.
Oh no, absolutely not.
That would be funny.
I mean, the way that property values are, I wouldn't be surprised to do some work in my very own neighborhood. That happened one time, and that's because a hurricane destroyed her house, and she got a bunch of insurance money, and she wanted to do a bunch of decorative finishes in there. It was the only time I could walk out of my front door, across the street, and into my job site.
That's funny.
It was great.
Oh, I would love to be able to work at my neighbors like that. One of the dreams I've had is to buy a house that allows me to build like a shop in the backyard. So you can just work, like do the woodworking right there. What you got?
Sturdy.
Sturdy? It's you are such a dad, you know that? That is such a dad thing to do and say, just sturdy. I guess you really do play both parental roles, huh?
Listen, when duty calls.
Yep, that's a thing that kids do. They duty themselves.
So gross.
Yeah, but your kids are like 15, so.
Yeah, they're on their way out. It's good.
On their way out, like out of the house, or
out the house. They're on their way.
At 15?
Well, I mean, maybe it's soon, not like immediately.
I guess you didn't get injected with that part of the Hispanic gene of...
They just stay forever.
I think he put that one in a different hole just to make sure he saves himself some money.
Ew. Ew.
The fact...
Oh, look at the little dog in a
That's
stroller.
adorable. That's adorable. How you doing, guys?
I like your baby.
The fact that I made you say ew makes me feel so accomplished. So accomplished.
It's really
as
hard to gross me out, Nico. Jesus.
I know. So I do want to bring it back to the camping though. I swear, I like tell myself and I tell my guests and tell everybody this show is wholesome and we are here to share knowledge and ideas with each other. But all my friends, either comedians or not, we just end up talking about gross poop and butt stuff. So I do want to bring it back a bit to the camping though. You said it was like obviously you were stealing the clothes of your fellow Girl Scouts and stuff like that, but did you like make fires?
Yes.
Did you cook over a fire? Did you learn to fish or anything like that?
Learned how to properly decommission an American flag.
Decommission?
Yeah, you don't just take it, ball it up, and throw it into a fire. It's actually a whole to-do.
This sounds like an anarchist cookbook. What the fuck are you talking about, Jenny?
It's okay. So you're not allowed to desecrate the flag.
Right. So basically,
you're not allowed to do that. But they do decommission them if they have gotten too worn, or if they've I don't know.
If they get a little tattered,
lost their lure. I don't know.
Yeah. If the colors faded a little bit, not that these colors run.
No, they just fade.
They don't.
They just get a little light every now and again. but you're not supposed to. I guess you're not. Well, not here.
Nope, service road only.
To, here, we'll just keep it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hang on.
Late chicken with a guy on a bike. That's fun. But yeah, you're not supposed to present them tattered either.
Gotcha.
So you gotta decommission them.
Okay.
And you start by taking out all the threads. You take out all the stitching.
Okay.
And then there's a whole ceremony that goes with it. And I remember it being really like oddly emotional. Like I remember that. Like I was probably around 8. Anywhere give or take around 8. And there was this whole ceremony. We all took part in decommissioning this flag. And I remember it being like oddly emotional. Now I'm thinking back on it. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it was just I don't know. Maybe it was just the ceremony in general. Maybe it was like, I don't know, like being today I'll just ball that shit up and be like, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, like, I'm not one of those people who goes crazy over a flag or respect the flag or kneel. What is it? You gotta kneel you gotta stand or whatever. It's just a representation. But it is still a representation of a country, which entails something that a lot of people have gone through on multiple sides of things. So I could see why that would get a little emotional. That's cool. It's nice to see this sweet side of you, Jenny.
Oh.
Nice.
And just to be clear, I don't go around burning flags. That's not something. It's not like my hobby or anything.
No, you do that professionally.
Yes, I get paid for that shit.
George Soros checks right here. Oh
exactly.
You know what's funny is I'm
on that payroll.
I'm not really sure like what kind of shit I need to be cutting from YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did I just say a baddie one? I don't know.
Oh no.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. It's not like I'm getting paid at the moment anyway. So the lack of monetization, but it's weird some of the words you do have to bleep out though. Like apparently like shiatsis, you can't talk about them. I don't know why, considering it's not that I was over here glorifying them. Like one of my episodes I was talking about like one of Slayer's songs is about a guy who happened to be part of that particular moment in Germany's history. Apparently you gotta bleep it out, otherwise YouTube takes it down just because I mentioned, hey, that guy was a Shiatsi.
Got it.
So, yeah, exactly. I don't understand why. I do not get it, but hopefully talking about George Soros, which I guess people say he used to be one.
People be talking.
Yeah. This is a very conspiracy podcast, as you can tell.
Love it.
Because I'm actually 3 white guys in a trench coat.
I love that.
So yeah, that's why I started a podcast in the first place. But I mean, I do think it's pretty cool that you learn how to decommission a flag the proper way.
Yeah.
Learning about flag code and stuff like that. But as far as outdoorsy stuff, that's kind of all they taught you.
Oh, I also saw Halley's Comet.
Oh, no shit. Tell me about that.
That was pretty cool. They woke us up in the middle of the morning and we had to hike all the way to the lake. And I remember seeing Halley's Comet, and I was told that if I live to be 84, I will see it again.
Well, what do you think? You think you're going to live to be 84?
I fucking hope not. Good God.
Well, look, you got your life together. I got some bad news for you. You're as healthy as you've ever been. Oop, let's cross this part. This is a very outdoorsy. Yeah, sorry. Let's move out of this guy's way. Well, we got some cool mangroves over here. That's always fun. I guess.
I like how natural these are.
I know, right? This is.
Potty.
I wonder what kind of tree is this? It's an
all-county toilet tree.
It's an all-county toilet tree. Oh, so that's what they mean when they say toiletries. That's what they're talking about. This is the toilet tree we've all been thinking of. That's cool. How was seeing Halley's Comet? What did that, was it like an asteroid? I've never seen a comet before.
I remember being really upset that I had to be up that early and it was freezing cold. But I remember thinking that was cool. Like I remember thinking that was cool.
Yeah.
And
where was it?
It was in Camp Nocatee in upstate Florida.
Upstate Florida, that's what I meant to ask, yeah. Camp Nocatee. So you grew up in Florida, right, or no?
I did. Grew up in Florida, and I remember with my dad going to Key West. It seemed like a lot, but I don't know if it was a lot. I remember being with my cousins on a bus, and not some random bus. My dad had a schoolie.
What is that?
Where you buy a school bus and you rip out the seats.
Oh, okay.
At least I think he did. I don't know, this was a long time ago. All I'll remember for sure is that we were on a pontoon style boat.
Okay.
And we were snorkeling, and he took a piece of coral, which
I don't think you're supposed to do.
supposed to do that, and to hide it, he stuck it under my shirt.
No!
Which gave me a really boiling rash.
I was gonna say, did he put fire coral in your shirt?
I don't know. It was a fan, but it was still miserable nonetheless. So I had a nice consequence from that. But
oh my God!
I think he gave me ice cream, and not to tell my mother, and that was fine.
You need to give ice cream to to the environmental groups that are gonna fucking come after him for that, man. Are you kidding me?
Well, they're gonna have a hard time finding him, as he is already enjoying the afterlife. So.
Okay. Gotcha.
Good luck with that one, Greenpeace.
Greenpeace. We'll just say he was killed by coral.
Killed by coral.
And it's considered even. I think we got a little entrance to a regular trail here.
Wow.
It's called a show off trail with comedians, and we're back to a parking lot.
Oh.
Well, we can try going this way and see what's up.
This way. What's up, dog?
It's a baby doggo.
Hi. Who's the best dog in the world? Is it you? Hi.
You have a dog.
I have a rent-a-dog.
Oh yeah. Tell me about the rent-a-dog, because I thought. Did you mention that on the pod already, or
was
it?
Nope.
Yeah, that was off camera. That was off camera.
So prior conversation. No, we have a beautiful Doberman. And he's 4 years old. He's well behaved. He's fully trained. I don't have to pay for vet bills. I don't have to pay for any food.
Because
all I have to do is love this animal while his owners are away, because they're gonna go traveling for weeks at a time in the summer. And my youngest daughter always wanted a dog, but I can't have one. I can't have a full-time dog. It's not fair to the dog.
Yeah.
But the kids are home because my kids are homeschooled. So during the day, he's not really being left home alone. And we love him. He's so wonderful.
I love that.
It's so great to have a dog with none of the responsibility of actually having a dog. And you get to give him back. So then you miss him. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to have him back.
You're like a divorced dog parent, basically.
Yes. Oh wow, we have custody every now and again. I just gotta keep him alive. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's literally like a divorced dog parent.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, before we close out, I do want to ask you just a couple more questions about the camping stuff. So, the place where you camped and this place where you stole people's clothes, that was the same spot where you saw the comet. How was the camping over there? You said it was in like cabins and stuff?
It was in cabins, and you had to walk to a mess hall in order to eat, but there were nights that we cooked over the fire.
That's awesome.
And there was another time we camped, it was somewhere near the Keys or in the Keys, but that I can't tell you exactly. All I know for sure is that I ended up sleeping in the car because we turned the lights on inside the tent and I saw all the bugs.
Oh God.
And I was like, I'm the fuck out of here. And I spent the night in the car and my mom was really mad at me. And I didn't give a shit.
I mean, I'm out there fairly frequently, as often as as often as I can be during the year. And even I get a little, you know, eked out by seeing bugs inside my tent.
Bugs or crabs? I can't tell.
That's what she said.
Ew! Ew!
You gotta have a terrible pun at least in one of the episodes. It's become like one of those unwritten rules that just falls from heaven. This is freaking amazing. It's like feels like a mangrove tunnel, but we're walking instead of. This is super cool.
I guess we found the one little sweet spot.
Yeah, it feels like there's like a nice breeze flowing through here too.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
I could have done miles on this.
I know, right?
Oh, and there's the light at the end of
There's the end, yeah, I know. This is like the one time you don't want to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You want it to stay because it's so nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
So I would like to go camping in the future, but I want to do like really bougie camping, like AC in the tents, but have it be a tent, but have it be AC.
Okay.
And
I mean, those exist,
springs, and yeah, that would be nice.
Any more requests, madam?
Nah, I mean, it'd be great if some dude was there grilling for us. That would be cool too. I want to do something with my kids this summer, like all of my kids, and I've been thinking a lot about this. They do have this like near Kissimmee. It's like a ranch, but like, I don't know.
They have a spot called Lake Louisa, which has some cabin camping. You have the options over there. That's one of the things that's so cool about that place.
Lake Louisa,
and
I'll look that
you
up.
do need a reservation. You can't just storm into a cabin, Goldilocks. But you do need reservations, but you have the choice of doing like completely like dispersed camping, and there's like kind of like bougie-ish tent camping, I think with like water sources and bathrooms, and then they have straight up cabin camping. I don't know if they have RVs, but it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. Lake Louisa. It's Central Florida.
All right, yeah, everything I saw was Central Florida, but I want to go to the, walk around in the open field.
Yeah, I suppose we can.
To put a bench.
I know, right? That's a sunburn bench.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, guess who it is?
Oh, I thought that was an animal.
It is. Hi. Yay, bye. What about our bags? Do we have to take them with us? That's like the dumbest question. I don't know. Do you want to keep what your stuff is? I mean, if you want it to get stolen, leave them behind.
Wow, that homeschooling's going great, huh?
Yo.
I'm kidding.
No.
I don't blame you.
That's true.
I don't blame you. I don't know what I would do if I had kids.
Homeschool's the way to go.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well,
who's teaching them though?
The state of Florida still, so they're just as stupid as they would if they were going into regular, like, in-person school. But, yeah, nothing to worry about there. What is this? Banyan?
I believe so, because those are, I think, the ones that the tree will grow and then the roots come down from the, I don't know what they're called, but something comes down from the tree and eventually roots itself down in the ground.
See, this is
Let me get a shot of that. Yeah, I think that one right there is in the process of coming down, and it'll eventually come down and root itself in the ground. Beautiful trees.
Oh, there's a volleyball court. Yeah, I guess I could have come.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. But all right, so Jen, it's hot, it's
so
humid,
hot.
it's muggy. What do you say we take a little break, find a shady, hopefully windy spot to sit where I can ask you about your fauxing business? You can tell us a little bit about that?
You got it.
Awesome.
Let's
See you
do it.
soon.
All you do is love it.
Wow. Okay, welcome back to OTC, On Trail with Comedians. I'm your host, Nico Prada, and I'm here with my guest, Jen Diehl. We just got done doing a little hike where we finally found trails.
It was treacherous.
We spent the entire beginning portion of the show like walking in parking lots and near mansions and trying to find some trails. And then as soon as I took a break to find a nice spot to sit, all we could find was wilderness trails. And so now we finally found a cool little spot to sit down and chat. And did you feel like you got a little in touch with your outdoorsy nature side again?
I did, Nico. I did.
You're so full of shit. You're like, I want to go home, take a shower, goddamn.
This is really nice being out in Florida in the summertime.
I know.
It's what we're known for in this state.
I chose such a fucking weird time to start that outdoor podcast with guests that don't necessarily love the outdoors. I'm like, just bring them out in the most miserable of times. It's either the Florida heat and humidity just dry humping you and breathing in your ear, whispering things about smiling more.
Yeah.
Or waking up stupid early. Those are your two options. Would you like to be on my unpaid show?
Listen, no, this is nice. I like being out, and thank you so much for bringing me out.
I'm so happy you came. I'm so happy you came. This is cool. And I would like to one day actually be able to not just do the shish kebabs, but go on a proper camping trip with you. Because we've talked about it. You do your sober trips. What are they called? The camping trips with the...
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I did not...
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that.
No. Well, I'm not really sure either, but yeah, no, there are camping trips that are affiliated with the fellowship that I am involved with, lovingly known as Narcotics Anonymous. Yay!
I like that. And like one of the reasons why I got so into backpacking is because you are away from the typical like drunken camper, the big cooler full of Miller Lights and stuff like that. So
God, I think I smell that.
Yeah, so I think I would actually enjoy having a trip with a bunch of sober people.
A bunch of clean drug addicts. It's previously batshit crazy. We were the group that you didn't want to be next to camping, and now
exactly.
We're like, okay, we're gonna clean up our campsite this time.
Yeah, I don't know so much about previously crazy though, because
that's true. It's so crazy.
You're the mild one there, but I don't know. We won't talk about them. I can't talk about those groups. But I went to a meeting with you one time, and I was like, oh fuck, okie dokie.
This is crazy. Got it.
No, but it's good crazy, and it's people trying to get their life together, and I applaud that in every way.
It's good shit. It's good shit.
So I did want to ask you a little bit about your fauxing business, because I think it's a super cool thing that you do. It's not how we met, but it's how we started like hanging out more often. It's basically it's how I got your phone number.
Yeah.
You want to tell me about what fauxing is and how you got into it?
I got into it kind of on a whim. I was actually on another podcast when I explained the situation, but the universe wanted me to be in this
position.
Yeah, this profession.
You appeared on another podcast, a really cool one. What is it called?
The Sexy Walls podcast.
The Sexy
Gian
Walls.
Sagasti. Check that out. That's fun.
I'll put a link down in the description for that.
And that's. I was going through a hard time. I needed a career. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and I thought about the beautiful work that my ex-husband's mother did, and she decoratively painted her entire house, and I was always very impressed with that, So I decided, you know what, I'll just be a faux finisher. That's what I'm gonna do. And I thought that I was gonna go walk into a paint store and be like, hey, hire me as a faux artist. And I'm really glad that didn't happen, because that's not a goddamn thing. But when I finally, you know, got this inspiration, I took the turn off of 95 to go back north, or to go back south. And as I was taking that U-turn around, I saw a wall cut faux art murals, and I pulled into the driveway, and the rest is history.
So you just walked in and asked them, can you teach me how to do this?
No, I lied about what I could do. 100%.
Okay.
So I lied through my teeth. Yes. And man, I wish I had that video footage.
Of you lying through your teeth
about what it was. I remember I had enough knowledge to kind of pony back, like when they were like, oh, we use oil to do our washes, and I was like, oh, I've only used acrylic, but I'm sure I'll learn fast.
Okay, so you knew some of the terms.
I knew some of the terms because I tried to replica what my mother-in-law used to do. I tried to replica it in my own house, but I mean, it was just awful.
Gotcha.
Just terrible. Those pictures exist somewhere too. I'd love to see that shit. God.
That would be funny. You could put it on your Instagram, which, by the way, I'm going to put a link to that too below for South Florida Faux. Are the childs calling? Yeah. You can pick it up. It's fine.
I don't want to.
Okay. That's fine. That's cool. Well, and so you walked in there, and what was their reaction to the lies?
Oh, they believed me. They believed me. They were excited to have me on board. Yeah, it was great.
And they didn't catch you at all?
Yeah, eventually I got fired from that job. But it took them about 3 months to realize I was completely full of shit. But that was okay, because from there I jumped on another crew where I learned even more. And from there I jumped on another crew. And then I went back for my old job, and they were happy to have me back. Now I had experience.
So when did the truth begin?
You know, it's real blurry. It's real messy. But
What's your name? What's your real name, Jennifer?
I worked crew for about a year and a half, and then I started my own company. And the key was to hire people better than me, and I did that for years, and so they made me better. My personal crew made me better because I always hired people that were way better than me, way more knowledgeable than me.
That's what I accidentally do with podcast guests. I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to hike, and they're like, I'm going to teach you what a mulberry is. Because clearly you don't know. You can't even identify.
You are really bad at identifying.
No, I know what a mulberry is, okay? I know what a mulberry is. Sometimes they fall off of trees and they hit people in the head, and they discover gravity that way, right? That's what a mulberry is, right? I'm pretty sure. No? No, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be able to identify what a mulberry is.
I'm not getting into that one.
Gotcha. Oh, I did want you to, real quick, you talked a lot about how you got into faux, but a lot of people don't know what faux is.
All right.
I for one didn't know how to pronounce the word faux or how to spell it. Yeah,
I got a fox finish.
Faux, yeah, exactly.
So faux is French for fake. And
F-A-U-X.
Yep, and it is basically, back in the day, you were creating the illusion of texture. But today, that word is fairly obsolete, because now we dabble in real.
You do real texture, from what I've seen.
Correct.
You work with a lot of, is it trowels that they're called?
Yep, we do a lot of trowel work. We still use brushwork, but we're using Venetian plaster paints, and we're using really high-end, beautiful microplasters. It's the products that are available today are just mind-blowing, and I'm so happy that the industry has taken this turn, because it is fascinating. I mean, I'm still really geeked out about what I do. I love what I do. And it was funny because I had a call from one of my contractors. It's a pretty big job, and he was like, they want you to use, I'm not going to mention this product, but they want you to use this product. And I'm like, I won't use that product because it's garbage. Okay. I'm like, if they're willing to use a more superior product, then I'm your girl. But if they're insisting, yeah, it's a big job.
Gotcha.
And it's like, no, I'm not going to put crap on your walls just so I can make money, because I don't work for money. I work for a job well done. And
I would imagine that's like a tattoo artist out of prison using prison techniques.
Yeah, I mean, I am not saying that I never came from a place where I used less than stellar things, because back in the day we didn't have these things. Gotcha. You had to improvise, but that's not the world we live in right now. If a client cannot afford the quality, there are plan Bs, but they're going to know about it.
Yeah,
like, I'm not just going to show up with a bucket filled with joint compound and call it Venetian plaster. Like, that's not who I am as a person.
Not anymore.
Like, not anymore anyway.
No,
but no, even back then it was fairly transparent.
No, I would imagine when you talked about lying, you just about your own credentials, not lying to a client about quality.
You're correct.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, eventually, for me, like, I would say I made that transition a while ago where I don't think about the money, I think about how good of a job I can do, because the money is going to be there. This is a very high paid industry, and there's a lot of people who work for the money who are going to mess your house up pretty bad because they don't care if you call them back. Me personally, I want the relationship. I don't care if you go really slow. We can go bathroom by bathroom, we can go wall by wall. Like, I just want the call back because I want to work for you forever, and then I want to do your friend's house.
Yeah.
I want to do your mom's house. I want to do your neighbor's house. It's way more important to me.
Jenny does America.
Hey, faux it up.
It ends up being beneficial in the long run too, for not just for you but for the clients as well. Hello, you guys can go right ahead. Don't worry. This is totally unpaid. No worries.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. We love dogs on this show. You can leave the dogs.
Yay!
Yeah, you want to put them on camera? That'd be cool.
Oh, hi guys.
Hello, babies. Yeah.
How you doing?
That's Bandit and Valentina.
Bandit and Valentina. Nice to meet you.
Friendly.
No.
That's all right. That's all right. Neither are we. We're working on it.
Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right.
Cute.
I love the trail friendliness that you get so many times. Like, I know that there's a little bit of like snarkiness among like, oh, you're a real hiker, you're not a real hiker. You're gonna meet that everywhere, but there is a level of trail friendliness that it's just so nice, the greeting people and stuff like that. But anyway, I want to get back to what I was asking, to what I was saying, that it ends up being beneficial when you, not necessarily that you refuse to work with low quality products, but when you put your foot down and tell the client, we're not doing this, it ends up being beneficial for both the contractor and the client.
Absolutely.
And it's something that when I've worked with you before, and the house where I helped you with those doors, you stepped in, the lady wanted to do this, and you said, nope, no way, we are not doing that ugly ass design.
Yeah.
And it ends up, I envy that. I wish I would be able to do that more with my clients, because a lot of times when you let a client go too much on their own, they are moving away from your expertise.
Yes.
And you end up having not just a bad quality product, in my case with cabinetry, something that might fall to the ground and stuff like that. So it's really good to do what you're talking about. It's beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, not everybody's a right fit for my company. Not everybody is. Like, not every client is meant for me. And I'm okay with that.
And also, not every contractor is meant for you, because there was one time, I gotta tell this story. You were gonna hire me to help you, me and my dad, during a time where we were very slow with work, that you were gonna hire us to stain all the doors of a mansion. This was like 30-something doors.
Yeah, I remember that.
And this was just a stain job, not a faux job. But you were like, it's so easy. And we were like, well, we don't really know that much about staining. And do we have to sand the door? Nope, you stain right over the previous finish. Don't even worry about it.
You're just changing the color.
We get to the house and we're like, all right, can you show us how to do it? And here's what Jennifer does. She grabs the sponge and she goes, let me make sure the camera can get this. All you got to do is this and that, because she stands on one foot while she does her fauxing. It's like a freaking dance. I'm surprised I'm standing on one foot this long. I've been practicing for a year so I can have you on the podcast and do one of these. And you were like, all you got to do is this and that and bucket this. And we're just like... And we were like, you know what? I don't think we can take this project. I don't think this one is for us, because we can't handle that type of new. Like, obviously that was like a lot of goofing around and fucking. But you are extremely talented at what you do, and I think sometimes you don't realize how much you have learned and how like the level of skill you have developed over the years, because it's really up there.
It's funny.
It
That
really
is. I just ran into that again. One of my contractor friends, remember when you brought me that piece of flooring that was lighter than the white oak? And
Yes, yes, you had to.
Yep. So I had to do it again.
Oh goodness.
And you know, it's a bunch of Frankenstains.
Frankenstains is what you call them.
Yes, Frankenstains, and then you know you have to pull others like colors through it, and there's a lot of nuance. There's like a little trick to it. But he sent one of his guys so I could teach him, and the dude's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's okay. You can do this. But it's kind of like how you said, like when I was like, oh, you have to do it like this. And
You
then,
do stand on one foot.
Yeah,
You
well,
really
you got to
do.
get that full movement. You got to get that full movement up and down. You can't have it choppy. But like with him, I'm like, no, don't worry. You just take your chip brush. And he's like, what's a chip brush? I'm like, okay. You can still do this. I believe in you. And he could. You know, so far, no words were spoken. No one's called in a panic. And I think that's great.
I could picture you in a yoga class with like a bunch of like angry other yogis, like, what the hell is she doing? Because you're just having way too much fun doing a single leg RDL. Oh, and real quick for the people who don't know a bit about staining, darkening a wood is a lot easier, I would say.
Yeah.
More physically possible than lightening. Is that even the word, lightening?
Yeah, but we do it. We absolutely do it.
It's really difficult to make a wood color lighter. And you helped us out a lot with that one. When we brought you that floorboard, not only because it was light, like a difficult task, but because the floorboard had like 3 different tones to it.
Yeah.
It's another thing that clients don't really realize when they ask you to match a piece of wood or a floorboard, is that wood will have like 3 or 4 tones in it sometimes. And the same thing with like marble, same thing with stones and stuff. Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
You guys are back.
Yep, making our way.
Hey, listen, no. We know where we set up our camera. You can walk in front of it all you want. No.
Okay, thank
No. I would hit myself in the foot with a hammer the day.
I didn't even realize.
No, that's what I'm saying. The day that I bitch at people on trail for, excuse me, you're in my space, will be the day I throw myself in the water with the schnappies. So, don't worry. God, I always forget. I say schnappies like everybody knows who that. It's
a turtle, right?
No, a schnappy is actually a cartoon of it's a German cartoon for kids of a little crocodile, and it's a song about a crocodile named Schnappy. And
Oh
it's
wow, yeah.
really
I just figured you were like, I'll throw myself in with the snapping turtles.
The snapping turtles. That actually scares me more than swimming with gators, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't want to swim with
Yeah. No, but anyway.
Gators don't scare me. Crocodiles do.
Yeah, crocodiles are much more aggressive, although there have been cases, I think, recently in Kissimmee of gators attacking people. And
People or children?
No.
Because the people that let their kids run along the shore and they're, oh, the gator ate my baby. I'm like, really? That's weird.
So first of all, making a distinction between people and children, that's very Little Rascals of you. Very, was it Mel Brooks and Little Rascals? You're not people, you're kids.
You're just a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but it was grown people that it attacked, and they couldn't say for sure. I think some like experts, gator experts, have speculated. I've speculated. I'm not an expert in anything. It's got to be because people feed it.
Yes.
There was no other reason why a gator would approach grown humans.
No way. Not my gators.
That's why I always say I bitch about like the rules of camping, rules of hiking. Like I'm some kind of like just lame ass person with an old person with a cane. Just, oh, you kids gotta follow the rules. But like these rules are here for good reasons. They're not just here to fucking ruin your day.
Yeah, no.
They're here so you don't get eaten by fucking alligators. Oh goodness. But anyway, let's attempt to circle back one more time to one-footed backflips and the lightening of woods. You said it was somebody tried to learn from you, and by the time you got done with the lesson, they just looked at you like, oh, did you really expect me to follow?
Yeah, but you know what they did, and they're doing great because I haven't heard from them. And I told them, I'm like, listen, if you got a problem, you call me. I'll hold your hand through it. Like I know you can do this. Like I know I just made it look, however I just made it look, but you can do it. And it looks intimidating, but once you get into it, it's fine.
I think spending like a week working under you, like under your wing, I mean, not under, like, because you do a lot of scaffolding, so that's not what I meant, under you. Like working under your guidance will get somebody like doing the dance in a week or two.
I think that the last guy we hired would absolutely disagree with you because I am a nightmare to work under.
Interesting. Why?
I'm great. Like if you want to pull me into your job, I'm great.
Yeah, I have.
But I pull you into my project. Okay. Oh, I'm a fucking nightmare.
Why do you say
I don't
that?
even like myself. myself. Like it's
well, you feel like you
bad.
turned into a different person?
I am like very. It's taken a lot of like reflection to like be like, wow, I'm a tyrant. I micromanage, and I am not like I hold people accountable for things that I should be doing myself. Okay. And it's like it's taken a couple of years, especially in recovery, to be like, wow, man, like it's a lot of apologies and trying to find ways to make amends so it doesn't happen again.
Well, that's growth.
Yeah, but like I'm still not the best person to go work for. Like my business partner, like she's a gift from the universe. The fact that like she's got skin that's really thick and she's fairly oblivious to my like she's impermeable to my to my barking, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
Like but like she's been really patient with me, and that's been great because I needed a lot of grace to get where I am right now, which is still not in the best possible position. I still got a long way to go.
The fact that you recognize that makes me think that maybe you're not as bad as you're making yourself sound. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm saying it's probably not as bad as you're making it sound. But I don't know. Then again, we've only worked together in like collaborative projects. I haven't actually been like directly under your wing. So maybe we should keep our distance for a little bit.
Dude. That's for your safety.
I've known that since we met. I've known that since we met. Do you think, you mentioned that sometimes you will hold people accountable for something that you should have been doing. Do you think that's the addict brain still functioning as a user a little bit?
Dude, 100%. Like just because I took away a drink and a drug doesn't mean that I took away all of the attributes that got to that manifestation in the first place. Yeah. So like that's all like things like NA really are, is the decommissioning of this selfish attitude.
It's not my fault, it wasn't me.
Yeah, you know. I didn't do it. Like, oh, that was your fault. Like, I don't.
So good, I haven't even told you what it was. You know,
yeah.
You're covering your own ass just in case.
But it's been wonderful. I love it. I love recovery. I encourage anybody who even thinks they have a problem to just go ahead and work a program for a year, take all the suggestions, and you will be better for it.
Can I ask you about, because you have an interesting story of how you ended up staying in the program. Can I ask about that?
Oh, sure.
Because you said, I'm going to do this for a year and leave, right? That was your thing?
I recovered out of spite.
I was going to say, you were the type that, like, yes, we would sometimes go out and have way more drinks than anybody should, but we would go to work the next day. So you and I would say me in some cases were the type of drinkers or users, I don't know what you did, but that the world didn't really know we had a problem unless like maybe another sober person saw the amount that goes into your cups. So like I wouldn't have known that you had a problem. I would say, wow, she parties hard, but she can handle it.
Yeah, it's I had more of an emotional bottom than I did a jails, institutions, and death manifestation of my addiction. But I'm not necessarily grateful for that. Like I hear people say, oh, you know, by the grace of the universe, I didn't get arrested. I'm like, I'm not really grateful for that. I think if I started losing my kids, losing my jobs, like losing my freedom, maybe I would have gotten, you know, cleaner earlier.
Maybe.
But that's not my story. Yeah. And this is where I'm at, and I'm grateful for that.
There you go.
100%. It took the time it took the people, places, and things that it took, and I'm grateful for it. Like I wouldn't be here without it.
Yeah, definitely. And I probably, like, now that I didn't completely like sober up, but now that I'm not, you know, drinking like that, I probably wouldn't have called you if you were still like drinking hard and like, oh, we're going hiking, let's get some fucking seltzers or something. Like I probably wouldn't call you for that. Not that I'm not like hating on anybody who can responsibly have some drinks on trail, off trail, whatever. But as far as like heavy drinking, heavy partying, I don't want to really be around that anymore.
It's because it would have encompassed the whole thing. We wouldn't have had these conversations. This would have been abandoned a long time ago.
That's probably true.
And we'd be over at whatever bar is over there, and we would, oh, we'll just do it again tomorrow, and then not do it ever again.
That is true. Yeah. So.
And then talk about that one time we went camping that never really happened.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. I guess the more when you do talk about it, you do start to see what the problems were. You know, or like, oh, I had a drinking problem that no one could tell, and it's like, well, when you look back at it and realize like how much money, how much time, how much time you spent doing it, and how much of that time spent doing it could have been doing other things. So
that you're remembering. Like there's so many things that I did that I don't remember. Like it really breaks my heart that I saw Sublime play, you know, before he died, and I can't remember it. I cannot remember it.
I met the drummer of Deicide, and I don't remember it.
There you go.
Yeah, sad stuff. To this day, I still see people at like certain concert venues, like local concert venues, or even within like the comedy scene, that I don't know their names. If they know my name forever, now I'm like, it's been too long for me to ask at this point. I feel bad, but it's just, you know, part of what you have to deal with when you did that to yourself. To bring it back, you told yourself, I'm going into NA for a year.
Yeah. So I went to treatment. I was ready. I was ready to just, you know, clean up.
You said it was out of spite.
Well, yeah, because when I was in a treatment center, they bring in people to do meetings, and this guy talked about how he used to do drugs and rob houses, and he was able to just put that down, but it didn't stop him for the next 20 years from being a complete asshole. And he had an emotional bottom, and that was the first time I heard the term dry addict or dry drunk. And
this is my first time hearing that.
It's pretty powerful. And after working, even though he was not alcoholic, he started working in an AA program. He was 6 months in, and his adult children were just starting to talk to him.
Oh, wow.
And that like broke me. I was like, I don't want that to happen. I knew dry addicts at the time, and I did not.
What is a dry addict?
That. Somebody who just quit drinking, an alcoholic or an addict who just quit using because that was their problem.
Okay.
And that's not the fucking problem. They're their problem.
Oh, okay. So they address the substance abuse, but they don't address the behavior that.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. So that's what a dry addict is.
His next manifestation was just being a dick.
Yeah, got it.
And that's usually where it goes.
Okay.
It goes to that. That's a really common cross addiction.
Interesting.
But I went to my room, I was crying, I'm like, what do I have to go to these stupid meetings for the rest of my life? And then I was like, you know what, Jen, let's just do it for a year. Let's give it a solid year, but you're gonna take all the suggestions, because when it doesn't work, you could say you did your best effort. And that's where I started taking suggestions. It was suggested to me to go on to a partial hospitalization. I did not want to do that, but I was into taking suggestions for 1 year, so I did that.
You needed it for the detox, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
Okay. Well, no, I needed detox, but that's one treatment center.
Okay.
And then another 30-day program and a step-down program.
Got it.
So that's partial hospitalization. And then they've got intensive outpatient. I did that too from a halfway house, even though I had a home, even though I was running my own business.
Yeah.
Like, people like, oh, I can't, I have my family, I gotta get back to my family. No, bring your family back their parent.
Yeah.
Bring your spouse back its spouse.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Do the work now so you never got to do it again.
Well, the addict brain will find any excuse to use it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so I got to go back to my family. What that really means is I got to go
back to my bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I realize that now, but I'm really grateful for that time, because then I got, into a program immediately, because I was going to work it quick. I wanted to get through all this shit quick.
Mm-hmm.
I only had a year. I was only given it a year.
Yeah, I'm just doing this for a little while.
Yeah, but a funny thing happens when you take all the suggestions. When I started taking, 90% of the suggestions, my life started to iron out. I started to
start to see the benefits.
Yes. Yeah. And then I was like, shit, I was picking up a year. I had just finished the formality of my 12 steps, same day. And I had a girlfriend going, hey, you said a year. Like, are we gonna go get drinks, or what are we doing? And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give it one more year.
Nice.
And hopefully on October 5th, I'll pick up my 6th year.
Nice.
It's looking pretty good.
I think you will.
It's looking pretty good.
We've gone out. We've I think we went to like that Honduran restaurant.
Yeah.
We've gone to the movies.
Yeah.
And like what's it called? We went to Outback, places with drinks, places with bars. I think I had a drink during one of those, and you were all good. So look at you go.
I don't miss it. I can't say that I don't think about it because I'm an addict, and of course I think about it, but like the thought of like acting on my thoughts, that would be crazy to me.
I don't know. Let me smell that thermos.
Yeah, that's nothing. Don't worry about that. No, it's no, that seems very foreign to me. There's so many more creative ways to hurt oneself. Drugs and alcohol are so boring.
I think that is the perfect closer to the episode because we're running out of time, battery, and this camera is gonna, if this camera doesn't overheat, we are gonna. So I think that is a fantastic way to close out the episode. Jenny, thank you so much for coming with me. I am having an absolute blast, and I'm gonna go blast the AC in the car now.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you want to help the channel grow, you can subscribe or like, or hit the notification bell, or leave a comment down below. I'll try my best to answer, so long as you're swinging above the belt. If you really want to help, you want to help me feed my guests and pay my bills, I will put links to my Venmo and Cashapp and Patreon down below. If you like my guests, I will also put tags to their social media in the description. Always remember that here at OTC, we encourage our viewers to respectfully and responsibly enjoy the outdoors, know your local ordinances, abide by leave no trace principles, learn something cool, and I'll see you on the next hike.